Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Or wherever this is going to find you today. I doubt it's the morning because I am late. You ever have one of those days where you have planned everything to a T and none of it has worked out the way in which you wanted or intended it to? That was me with the show this morning. I'll explain more here in a few minutes, but gosh, what it is to be a human, you know? Welcome to This Morning with Tiff Potter. It's a daily companion audio show. I always say if you want a little company doing those human things in your life, you press play. Typically, episodes come out at 8 a.m. Sometimes there's a little video to them. Sometimes, like today, it is just audio. It's rooted in Cincinnati, but it's made for wherever you are, physically in this world, but also mentally, and whatever stage of life you're in as well. If you want a little company, like I say, you press play. We do things you want to know, need to know, could use later, topics of conversation that you might sit with for a while that might make you think. Or you might send them off to a friend and have a little conversation with them. Think of this like a daily voice note. Do you voice note your friends at all? I do quite a bit. And by the way, you too can be a part of our voice note community. Search at the Tiff, 2 F's, Potter like the Wizard on Instagram. Feel free to leave me a voice note. And wherever you are listening, drop a comment below whatever platform you're on and let me know what your name is and what neighborhood you're listening from. I know we have Westchester, we have Fairfield, we have East Walnut Hills, we have downtown Cincinnati, we have Kentucky, we have Burlington, Kentucky, Dayton, Kentucky. Sometimes our show makes it all the way over to California. Sometimes it makes it all the way up to Massachusetts and every corner of the U.S. So I'm so glad that you are here. You found the right home. If you find this today on the 14th, well, we've got to debrief Hard Topic Tuesday. But if I happen to find you in the future, I hope that future version of you has filed their taxes. That might be top of mind. And you know what? Shout out to the neurodivergents that are really just hanging on for dear life for that procrastination. I too am one of them. I hit submit on my taxes last week, which is unusual for me. I am typically waiting until that 11th hour, but we're in it. So this is your friendly reminder to hit submit so the IRS doesn't come for you. But I understand what it's like to be neurodivergent. Sometimes I don't even see the things on my list until they are flashing bold and red. Like, do right now. Today is Hot Topic Tuesday. And the question that I have for you is, who is the person you lie to the most? And how many times a day do you lie? Sit with that for a few minutes. And we'll get to that in a hot second. Usually I check in on you. Taxes must be top of mind. Anything else? Beautiful weather, spring outside. Speaking of, I had every intention, in fact, not even intention, action, to record this episode outside today. You know, I was enjoying my breakfast in the sun as it was coming up this morning, and I could hear the birds, and I said, you know what? Let's bring the episode outside. This morning is usually headquartered indoors, but every once in a while I like to take advantage of the sun, the birds chirping, whatever else is around me. I said, let's do it. Let's do it. So I'm walking through Beach Acres in Anderson Township, and I've got the video camera out, and I'm not always comfortable recording in person outside in public, but I'm trying to flex those skills. So I said, okay, let's get out here. 2 minutes in, camera card is full. So I'm like, all right, let's stop it. Let's delete it. Then I keep walking, start the episode again for the second or third time. Then the battery dies. At this point, 20 or 30 minutes, 40 minutes even, has been wasted. I said, you know what? Forget it. Forget it. Forget it. Forget it. The woman walking her dog has probably walked by me at this point 3 times as I'm like, hey, good morning. This is This Morning with Tiff Potter. And this is This Morning with Tiff. And this is This Morning with Tiff Potter. Like, enough, lady. So I walked myself back home, and here we are, just simply in your ears today. Sometimes there's a little video, not today. So that's what's going on in my world. All right, it's Hard Topic Tuesday. How many times a day are you lying, and who's the person you lie to the most? As I was sitting outside enjoying that breakfast, I came across a YouTube video. So some of these ideas are not my own. I will post the original video in the comments section below if you're interested in that. I'm sitting out there and I found this video and I was like, this is really cool. You might resonate with it. Now, transparently, I follow this account called Cape Christian. And so this video is rooted in the Christian religion, but there was an idea from it that I said, you know what? You might resonate with this regardless of your affiliation. And the video said, the number one person we lie to the most is not your partner, not your kid, not your boss, not your inner circle. I'm sure you can imagine. It is yourself. And do you know how many times a day? This fascinated me. Anywhere from 12 to 100 times a day. Let me repeat that. Anywhere from 12 to 100 times a day, we lie to ourselves. And it looks different depending on what's going on, right? There, according to this video, was, toxic positivity or manic positivity was one of them. Defensiveness is one of them. There were a few others. Like I said, if you want to get rooted in the video, it's posted below. But the idea itself is what sat with me because it made me think, like, shoot, what am I lying to myself about every day? And how many times a day am I doing it? Also known as gaslighting, right? How many times am I gaslighting myself? And I know I've joked about this on the show a little bit. For example, I am gaslighting myself and creating new neural pathways every day by writing it down in my journal or writing somewhere or talking or speaking it into existence that in this season of transition from my W-2 employment to freelancing and entrepreneurship that I will make money when my severance runs out, right? There's that type of gaslighting and hope and whatever you may call it. Like there's that. And I do think that it has its place and there is value in it. But how does this relate to you and I every day driving through Cincinnati or wherever it does find you? And I think it comes down to how many times a day are you shoulding on yourself? Should. S-H-O-U-L-D. I've added an ing to it. Shoulding. I should do this. I should do that. I want to do this. I want to do this. Could those be considered lies? Are those lies that you're telling yourself? What are the lies that you tell yourself every day? There are the ones that are obvious, like what's a good example? I shouldn't go on that website anymore. All right. I can stop whenever I want. I don't need to drink or whatever it is, But what are some other ones that you end up telling yourself every day? And how do you know when you are lying to yourself? Like, how do you unveil some of that truth? So there are, I think, two parts to this conversation. The shoulding, right? Like, I should do this, I should do this, I should do this. I think that is a form of lying to yourself because you're almost putting, not this type of, maybe a little bit of pressure. You're putting a little bit of pressure on yourself to do something. And there is that. But then there are times that you are just telling yourself you should do something because there's some either external force or internal lie that you've told yourself that you should do this. When in reality, let's kind of zoom out and look at the things that we really want. Like, what do you really want for yourself? And what are you hiding behind to get there? I had said some, toxic, like manic positivity. What does that mean? When everyone comes to you and they say, hey, how are you? And you're like, I'm good. It's good. Everything's good. It's good. Everything's good. Well, if it's not good, what's a way that you can say that and communicate with someone? I tried to be pretty honest in this season of job transition, even on the internet when it was uncomfortable for me, to show that side of being human. How are you? You know what? Things are a little mixed in my world right now. I tried to have an honest answer. I know that there are times that I say, it's good, and we just move on because now is not the time to debrief. I get it. So that was one example. The big one I think that we're all guilty of is distraction. It is very easy to stay distracted in the busy, very easy to get distracted in the busyness of a cell phone as well. Right? We do everything we can sometimes to numb the situation around us by just scrolling our phone. So then what ends up happening is then you say, oh, I should do this. I should do this. Do you see that there's a little bit of a pattern? So there's the what's going on externally that keeps us away from connecting with the internal. And when you are not connected to the internal, you just frequently lie to yourself or should on yourself instead of just turning around and facing the facts the other way. What happens if we quiet down the external distraction and get uncomfortable in this uncomfortable phase by listening and paying attention, slowing down, figuring out what it is that we're lying to ourselves about, get really clear, get really honest with it, then you don't have to should on yourself so much. I should do this, I should do this, I should do this. What you really should do is get familiar with what's going on internally instead of numbing. There were 3 or 4 other things. Those are the 2 that came up that stood out to me the most. The external distraction and the, everything's good, it's all good, it's good. That type of positivity. And I know that it has its place, certainly. But the video itself made me think. And like I said, if you want to go back in and watch it a little bit more, it definitely resonated with me. So you're thinking to yourself, I was too. Hey, if I'm not, well, how do I fix this, right? What should I do? Speaking of should, what should I do to stop the shoulding? One of them was pay attention to things that you are really defensive about with yourself or when someone brings it up. I am very defensive about the consumption I have right now. Consumption of sugar, consumption of food, consumption of this. I find myself kind of getting defensive over it. So that's something maybe this weekend into next that I'm going to pay a little bit more attention to. What are you really defensive over? What is something that people keep bringing up to you? Sometimes it might be your mother and she really annoys me as well. So maybe you don't always take her at her word. But if there's something that comes up from different people, maybe that's a window. Again, these are examples that were pulled from that video that I sat with. You might take bits and pieces of today's Hard Topic Tuesday and relate them back into your life. But if you want to go back in and watch more, you can. But it was just something that I thought, why do we should all over ourselves? I think it's because we're not really clear with our internal. We're lying to our internal. They're not matching up somewhere. And they're not matching up because there's a lot of distraction externally. Why don't we leave it there for now, since the episode feels complete in my mind. If anything that I said today resonated with you, please comment below or send me a voice note. Maybe you send this link off to a friend, but just know that I am thinking of you. And I really do appreciate you inviting me into your life and to the places that you love. And I will see you right back here tomorrow. Have a good day.